Hello, and welcome back to yet another inspirational podcast episode brought to you by yours truly, Carina from Healogy. I'm your truth speaker, truth seeker, truth keeper, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. Hey, it's Carina. Welcome back to Soul Medicine. Last time we talked about the tower moment, the collapse, the breakdown, and what it's like to stand in the ashes of the life you thought you'd have. We named the ache, the grief, the honesty it takes to admit, I can't hold this anymore. And maybe if you were listening and nodding along, something cracked open in you too. Today we start there. In the quiet after the chaos, when the dust settles and you're left with the question, what's really mine and what never was? There's this strange silence after the storm, isn't there? The chaos ends, but the quiet can feel louder. You're left standing barefoot in the wreckage of everything you thought was solid. The walls you leaned on, gone. The roles you clung to, gone. And now it's just you. A pile of bricks and 1,000 questions you didn't ask for. Maybe you felt it, that disorienting moment when you don't even know what's yours anymore. The beliefs, the responsibilities, the shame, the expectations. It's like waking up after someone else packed your suitcase, carrying weight you never agreed to carry. If you're here, maybe you're in that space. The quiet ache, the wondering, who even am I without all of this? I remember sitting in my car one day, hands gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing holding me together. I couldn't stop crying, the kind of crying that comes from deep in your chest, like your body's been holding its breath for years. And through the tears, this thought dropped in, almost like a whisper that wasn't mine. Carina, not all of this is yours. It stopped me because I'd been carrying it like it was mine. The guilt, the silence, the belief that I was too much and not enough all at once. And when I traced it back, so much of it belonged to someone else. My parents, their parents. The unspoken rules of survival that were handed down like heirlooms. Be quiet, don't need too much, hold it together, keep smiling. Generational ghosts, inherited pain, hand-me-down stories that never fit my skin, but I wore them anyway until I forgot they weren't mine. And maybe right now you're looking at the suitcase of your life, bursting at the seams, and realizing half of what's in there isn't even yours. The beliefs that say you have to earn love, the voice that whispers you'll never be enough, the guilt that keeps you apologizing for existing. Who are they really? Pause for a second. If you closed your eyes and felt into your own energy, what pieces feel heavy? And what pieces feel borrowed? And if you could set even one of them down, what would that free up for you? You don't have to know all the answers, but just naming what doesn't belong to you, that's the first crack of light through the rubble. And here's what I want you to remember. Your worth isn't measured by what you've carried. Your identity isn't defined by the survival roles you were forced to play And just because it was, doesn't mean it will be. You get to choose what comes with you, and you get to leave behind what doesn't. I didn't know it then, but that's where healing really begins. Not in the rebuilding, but in the sorting. In the moment you decide, this stays, that goes. It's tender, it's messy, but it's the first taste of freedom. So if you have been standing in your own ruins, wondering what's left, maybe this is your permission slip to start small, to put one hand on your heart and ask, what actually belongs to me? And what do I want to keep? And then, maybe scarier, what am I willing to return, to lay down, to let go of, even if it's all I've ever known? Here's a thing that most people don't tell you. You're not just sorting your own story here. You're ending cycles that have run for generations. The silence, the shame, the self-sacrifice, they've been passed down like family heirlooms. But you get to choose differently. Not because it's traditional, not because you're expected to, not because you have to hold it all together, but because you want to. For yourself, for your children, for the life that's waiting on the other side of this rubble. You don't have to keep living someone else's story. It's time to start living your own. So let's take a breath together for a moment. Hand on your heart and inhale slowly, like you're making space inside for something new. And when you exhale, imagine one piece of what doesn't belong to you falling away. Again, inhale and fill your chest with what's yours. And on the exhale, return what isn't. And as you breathe, say to yourself, I choose what I carry. I release what's not mine. One more breath in and out. And feel the ground beneath you. You're here. You're safe. And you get to choose. And next time we're going to talk about planting that first seed. Not the ones you were handed, not the ones someone else told you were right, but the ones that are truly yours. Because clearing is one thing, but choosing what you want to grow, that's where life begins to return. Not just for you, but for every life that follows. And as you sit with today's episode, here's a question to ponder. What are you still carrying out of habit? And what would it feel like to finally set it down? If this conversation stirred something in you, or if there's a question you'd love me to explore in a future episode, then you'll find my details in the show notes. This is the work that I do, and you're always welcome to reach out. And thanks to you, this podcast is now starting to show up for the people who really need it. You following and sharing makes that possible, and I'm so deeply thankful to each and every one of you. And if you don't want to miss what's coming up next, tap follow or subscribe so you're here when the next piece drops. And if you feel like this might help someone you love, share this episode with them. You never know whose day or life it might just shift. And we'll keep walking this together. Until next time, just because it was doesn't mean it will be. With love, Carina.